Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Talking About the Bible. In the last episode we talked about the reign of King Hezekiah of Judah and how he took away all the false gods in Judah and how Assyria came up against Judah, and then he gave them concessions and then emboldened them to try and invade Jerusalem. And how he humbled himself, and how God saved Judah by just wiping out all the Assyrians. And so we go in more depth in that in the last video. So basically, after the war in Judah against Assyria, Hezekiah became sick, and basically he consulted Isaiah the prophet, and he came over and he told him, well, if you humble yourself and continue to walk with the Lord, God will give you 15 more years of reign in Israel. And so he humbled himself, and he got over his sickness. But in the course of that time, though, the king of Babylon, and Babylon's another one of those shady countries. Assyria is one of those shady countries that acts like your friend, and you give them concessions when they threaten you, and then they come and invade your country. It's another one of those countries that historically is shady. They act like your friends. They come in, they see all your stuff, and then they take it away from you. And that's what happens. And when we talk about it in the next few videos, that's what we talk about, how Babylon conquers Israel. But this is basically how it kind of builds up. So Israel and Babylon have like a relationship, and basically, King of Babylon came to Jerusalem to see King Hezekiah of Judah, right? And because they're buddies, and he heard about him being sick, and he wanted to visit him. And obviously, it was, they were just shady, like I was saying earlier. And Hezekiah, he was fine at that time. He was showing him he's good, and he's showing him the house of the Lord and all the riches and the treasury of Israel and all the gold and the silver and all that stuff and all the money and wealth of Israel. And then which is obviously not good, because Babylon's going to come eventually. We'll talk about it you'll see in the next few videos that they come in and they just loot Israel. But basically Isaiah comes to Hezekiah, and he tells him, well, there's going to be a time, he actually told him, who were those that came to the house of the Lord with you, right? Who'd you show around, basically? And he said, it's just, Babylon. It's the people of Babylon, the representatives of Babylon. And then Isaiah says, well, there's going to come a time, and he prophesies, there's going to come a time when Babylon will take everything that you showed them, the treasury, the house of the Lord, everything, and wipe it out. Because although Hezekiah was doing the right thing in Judah, Israel and is still worshiping false gods. They're having, it's not a good time. And his son Manasseh, who took over Judah after Hezekiah passed away 15 years later, he brought back all the false god worship and all the bad stuff that Israel was doing before. And so it kind of set up, what's going to happen later on when Babylon invades Israel and Judah, and they take over the country, and they're taken off in exile, and all the riches are taken away. And that's because, Israel and Judah eventually start worshiping false gods under Manasseh's leadership. And Manasseh's not very wise. I mean, he takes the reign of of Judah at just 12 years old, and he's just enabling, and the people are back to worshiping false gods again and doing all this stuff that they shouldn't be doing. And so that's basically it for the reign of King Hezekiah. Basically that teaches you, you know, don't trust in, you know, if you have a bunch of riches and stuff, don't go and show it off. I mean, I'm sure Hezekiah wasn't like thinking, you know, I'm going to show off and gloat. That's not what he was probably thinking. But there's times when people act like your friends, and I'm talking in the sense of countries and foreign policy. There's times when people act like your friends, and then they get to know you and all your systems and all the wealth you have, and then they go in behind you and take it away. And that's kind of what happens to Israel, as we'll talk about in the next few videos. They get everything taken away. And that's because, well, maybe not under Hezekiah's reign of Judah, but under Manasseh and the kings to come, Israel and Judah turn away from God once again, as they did before during Jeroboam and other kings. So basically that teaches you, I mean, don't trust in riches, don't trust in wealth, trust in God, basically. When you have things, don't gloat, don't shove it in people's faces, you know. Maybe say, well, you know, God blessed me with all this, but don't gloat, and because you never know, it could be taken away. But of course, the people weren't worshiping God, and they're going to have everything taken away. So the best thing to do, again, is to be humble. Don't exalt yourself when you have a bunch of stuff. You know, just be thankful for what you do have. And we'll talk about, you know, how Babylon comes in and invades Israel and Judah in the future videos. But anyway, I want to thank you for watching, and you know, I'm just giving a summary of different stories and events in the Bible. The best way to understand the Bible, understand God and the truth, is to just read it yourself. Because me talking, I mean, giving you a summary, you got to read it yourself, because when you read the words, you read everything, it makes a lot more sense. It makes it goes in a lot more detail than me just giving you a summary. So anyway, I want to thank you for watching this video. Please read the Bible and believe in God. And thank you everybody for watching this video, and goodbye.